I pay attention to the art market, and yet I don't pay attention to the art market. I pay attention to it just enough so I'm not completely out of it, but not to every final detail, because I want to be able to make my own decisions without being influenced by the art market. Sometimes going against what is happening is the best thing you can do, and that's easier to do if you don't know everything.
The market for Russian art peaked in the first decade of the 2000s, as we've discussed. I'd say with the Great Recession, that worldwide recession that hit in 08, 9, and 10. This was a recession worldwide. It impacted everything in the market. Then, as the world has come out of that, I'd say that the market for Russian art has been diminished. I think that it has sort of hit a kind of plateau. That is a healthy thing. It's drifting downward a little bit, but not much. And overall, I'd say the market has been pretty even the past several years, with maybe a few percentage points of a downturn. But basically, I think the market, in a sense, is in a healthy state. Serious collectors are still there. They're buying.
Wealthy people actually got even more wealthy. You know, there are more oligarchs today than there have ever been. And I'm not talking about just Russia, I'm talking about all over the world. And so, paradoxically, the world record price for a work of art has been broken many times since 2008. And that is because there are more and more super wealthy people chasing fewer and fewer top things.
Big name, big Fabergé, big commercial things. They continue to sell very well. Last year I sold one diamond decoration of 1 million.
But the middle of the road, the middle market, has suffered dramatically since 2008, and paintings, as I say, that were like 50,000, 100,000, but could make 200,000-300,000. Now they're much more difficult to sell.
The problem is not even with the buyers, but with the sellers.
When things go well, then people are encouraged to sell things. So when things are not worth very much money, then people don't want to sell them, basically. So as the prices went up, more and more masterpieces were kind of sucked out of the market, if you like. In those mid-2000s, even American museums were searching in their basements for Russian paintings that were not on display on their walls, but were suddenly worth, you know, a fortune. And unfortunately, the converse is also true. When prices go down, then people are discouraged from selling. And that is the kind of situation that we've been in the last few years, where people don't want to sell their best things because they know that the prices are not as high as they used to be.
Really important works with a good provenance. Still, I think the price, it doesn't matter for this kind of work still. It's just really extremely difficult for us to find this kind of works. They are not available on the market.
When I started, it was kind of possible to collect, say, early 19th century Russian paintings. You could have some kind of ambition to collect Brulov, for instance. Now that's just impossible because those things are just not on the market anymore.
Немножко перегретый рынок вот Айвазовских, Шишкиных в свое время. Вот. И почему рынок перегревается и остывает? Потому что не поддерживается он американским и европейским покупателям.
Could it be that it was just overpriced at the beginning, like the prices were so high that they couldn't keep up to the same level?
No, I think that this is the
political pressure within Russia, problems and bureaucratic problems in exporting and promoting that art, Russian art, and artists around the world.
There is no doubt that the political situation, the difficulties in the relationship between Russia and the West, all act as depressing features on the market. People are thinking about something else. They don't necessarily think about buying art in a situation like this. The you know, the last 5 years has seen a succession of very negative headlines about Russia, and after each of these headlines, the art market, a little bit like a sort of sea creature, it draws in its tentacles and you know, doesn't and completely stops for a little while, and then slowly people begin to come out of their shells and start to buy again, and then you get another negative headline, and again everything stops.